Welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. Today on the deep dive, we're not just scratching the surface. We're really digging into the core realities of India's aerial
Yeah,
ambitions.
there's a lot going on there.
Definitely. We've pulled together, well, a fascinating stack of sources, everything from official reports, detailed defense analyses, even some lively online discussions to give you a shortcut to being well informed on India's quest for air superiority.
Hmm.
Our mission today is to truly unpack what's happening with the Indian Air Force's upgrades, their, big procurement plans, and their pursuit of next-gen capabilities,
Yeah.
especially how they navigate that complex world of global defense partnerships.
Quite the juggling act.
It is. Get ready for some surprising facts and hopefully just enough humor to keep you hooked.
Okay, so diving right in,
Yeah.
what's truly fascinating here is just the sheer scale of India's ambition, the plan to transform its Air Force. Since the late 1990s, the Indian Air Force, or IAF, has been undergoing this, well, significant modernization program.
Right. It's been going on a while. And the driver.
It's driven by this critical need to replace and upgrade their extensive fleet of, frankly, outdated Soviet-era equipment. That stuff still forms the very backbone of their air power, you see.
And when you look at their targets, I mean, they are incredibly bold.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about the IAF aiming to reach a 42 squadron strength by 2035. And they want to deploy, 450 fighter jets along the Pakistan and China borders?
That's the number. But it's not just about numbers, is it?
No, exactly. It's also about complete self-reliance. There's this major goal to indigenize the entire fighter jet fleet by 2042.
Yeah.
That's a truly audacious vision.
It truly is. And, reflecting this expanding role, back in 2023, the IAF even proposed renaming itself the Indian Air and Space Force, or IASF.
Air and Space Force. Okay.
Yeah, and this isn't just like a cosmetic name change. It's a clear signal of their growing involvement in space-related activities.
Which means what exactly?
Well, everything from precision navigation, intelligence gathering, surveillance, even managing space traffic. It's leading to crucial collaboration with ISRO, the Indian Space Research Organization, and India's private space sector, too.
Right.
And by 2024, the Air Chief Marshal officially confirmed space as a critical operational domain. So it's very much official policy now.
So they're not just thinking air, they're thinking orbit. What does that growing involvement actually look like on the ground or, in orbit?
They're actively procuring and developing tangible space assets. For instance, they're looking to acquire ISRO's reusable launch vehicle, the RLV.
India's own spaceplane, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And in March 2024, there was a significant allocation, 25,000 crore. That's roughly US $3 billion.
Wow.
Made specifically for defense space requirements. That includes building a constellation of surveillance satellites, securing communication networks. So it's about both getting into space and using space for security.
That's a huge investment. But, okay, let's bring it back down to Earth for a second. That ambitious 42 squadron target. The immediate reality seems, a bit more challenging. As of January 2025, the IAF only has 31 active combat squadrons. That sounds like a critical strategic vulnerability.
Absolutely. It is a major concern. This shortfall, this deficit, is largely due to retiring aging aircraft, the MiG-21s, MiG-23s, MiG-27s, without adequate replacements coming online quickly enough over the year.
And the forecast isn't great either.
Well, what's concerning is that even if current projects succeed, the IAF expects to reach only maybe 35 to 26 squadrons by 2035. Still well short of that 42 squadron target.
And more retirements are coming.
Exactly. More aircraft are slated for retirement soon. We're talking the Sepicat Jaguar, the Dassault Mirage 2000 from the late 2020s onwards, the McCoy MiG-29 from about 2027-28 into the early 2040s.
Even the Sukhois.
Yeah, even early Sukhoi Su-30 MKI variants starting in the 2040s. It's like a perpetual race against obsolescence.
This sounds like a problem that, it screams for high-level intervention. Has anything actually been done?
There has. A parliamentary panel report in December 2024 specifically highlighted these gaps. That led the Ministry of Defense to form these high-level committees, chaired by the Defense Secretary, no less.
And their job?
Their task is pretty clear. Propose a new roadmap, address shortages not just in fighter jets but also in critical force, multipliers, think tankers, AEW platforms, and streamline indigenous production, especially for the Tejas.
Right.
And it's not just about the planes either. A 2024 Comptroller and Auditor General report, the CAG report, identified a significant deficit in combat pilots.
Ah, the human element.
Exactly. 596 short by 2021. And the annual intake is consistently falling short of targets.
Hmm.
Plus, training is often on older aircraft, and planned procurements of basic and intermediate trainers have, well, stalled.
So the pilot deficit adds another whole layer of complexity.
It absolutely does. It's as critical a shortfall as the hardware, arguably.
But even as they tackle these human resource challenges, there are significant efforts underway to enhance the backbone of their current fleet. Which brings us to the Super Sukhoi project. Sounds impressive.
It is, and it's a massive strategic undertaking. First announced in 2024, this program aims to upgrade the IAF's Sukhoi Su-30MKI fleet, which really is the workhorse, the backbone of their Air Force.
And the goal, just keep them flying longer.
Essentially, yes, but significantly enhanced. The goal is to extend service life by a remarkable 30 years, potentially keeping them relevant beyond 2055.
30 years, wow.
It's not just an upgrade, it's a shrewd, strategic move to maximize their current assets for decades to come.
So what are they actually doing to these planes? What are the key upgrades?
Okay, the key upgrades include introducing advanced ASR radars, that's an active electronically scanned array, big step up in capability.
Right, better targeting, electronic warfare.
Exactly. They'll also get long-range weapons and a comprehensive electronic warfare suite, an EWS. This gives the Su-30MKI enhanced seed capability, suppression of enemy air defenses, and improved ground attack capabilities.
And there's an indigenous focus here too, right?
Oh, very much so. That's particularly significant.
Oh, yeah.
The upgrade involves 51 different systems aiming to boost indigenous content to an impressive 78%. Older Russian subsystems get replaced by modern Indian ones. HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, is the lead integrator, with support from DRDO and private companies.
So 78% indigenous content, that's huge. What about the cost? Sounds expensive.
It absolutely is. The Defense Acquisition Council, the DAC, granted what's called Acceptance of Necessity, the AON, that's the crucial first official nod for the program, back in November 2023. We're talking 66,829 crore.
Which is about?
Around US $7.9 billion. Financial assessment is ongoing, with government clearance expected probably early 2025. The first phase for 84 jets, it's a long-term commitment, expected to take 15 years, including all the testing and certification.
15 years. Wow. And new tech.
Yeah, integrating cutting-edge Indian tech like the DRDO-developed Udam Athos radar and a fully digital glass cockpit with large touchscreens. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh even discussed this with his Russian counterpart in May 2025. The project's likely up for DS review again in early July 2025.
Okay, so that's upgrading the existing fleet. Shifting gears a bit, let's look at new planes coming in the procurement programs. Starting with fighters, there's the homegrown HAL Tejas Mk1A.
Right. A contract for 83 advanced Tejas jets, that's 73 Mark 1A fighters and 10 trainers, was signed back in 2021. And just last November 2023, an additional 97 Tejas Mk1A were approved for procurement from HAL. That's under the Buy Indian IDDM category.
IDDM.
Indian designed, developed, and manufactured really emphasizes that self-reliance push.
Got it. And then there's the big one, the MRFA program.
Yes, the Multi-Role Fighter Aircraft Program. That aims to procure 114 twin-engine fighters. Crucially, they're to be licensed manufactured in India with substantial technology transfer.
Lots of contenders for that one.
Oh yeah, a long list. Assault Rafale, Eurofighter Typhoon, MiG-35, Boeing's F/A-18 Super Hornet, Sukhoi Su-35, Boeing F-15EX, Saab Gripen EF, Lockheed Martin's F-21. But this program is currently delayed. It's been delayed for a while, actually.
Right. Okay, beyond fighters, transport aircraft are crucial. The Airbus C-295 is one acquisition there.
Yes, 56 C-295s are being procured. The first 16 are supplied by Airbus, ready to go. But the remaining 40, they'll be assembled in India by Tata Advanced Systems Limited, TASL.
Replacing older planes.
Exactly. They'll replace the aging Avro 748s and also augment the AN-32 fleet. Deliveries for the Indian-made ones began September 2026.
And there's another transport need too.
Yes, the Medium Transport Aircraft, or MTA, the IAF is looking for 40 to 80 units, something in the 18 to 30-ton capacity range. This is to replace even more aging Antonov An-32s and the big Ilyushin IL-76s.
Who's in the running for that?
Contenders include the Embraer C-390 Millennium, Lockheed Martin's C-130J Super Hercules, which India already operates, and the Airbus A400M Atlas. Both Lockheed Martin and Embraer have partnered with Indian firms for local manufacturing bids. Again, that Make in India theme.
Definitely. Okay, let's talk force multipliers. Absolutely essential these days. Eyes and fuel in the sky. AEW&CS first.
Right. Airborne early warning and control systems. Flying command centers, basically. The IAF plans to operate 18 systems eventually. This includes 15 DRDO AEW&CS, known as Neutra Mk1 and 1A. Those are based on the Embraer EMB-145 jet, plus 3 ELW 2090 Falcon systems, which are Israeli, on an IL-76 platform.
And more Neutras coming.
Yes, 6 Neutra Mk2, based on the larger Airbus A321 platform, have also been cleared.
Okay, what about tankers? Flight refueling aircraft, FRAs. Always seems to be a bottleneck for India.
It really has been. India needs 18 tank aircraft, but currently operates only 6 IL-78 MKIs. Multiple tenders for 6 additional FRAs since way back in 2006 have been canceled. Usually cost issues, sometimes other things. It's a long-standing challenge.
So where are they now?
As of July 2025, procurement is in the technical evaluation phase. They did wet lease one Boeing KC-135 Stratotanker for training back in March 2025.
Wet leased meaning?
Meaning it came with crew, maintenance, support included. It provides immediate training capacity while they sort out the main procurement.
Got it. And ISTAR? Intelligence, surveillance, target acquisition, reconnaissance. Sounds vital.
Indeed. Very important for modern networked warfare. 3 ISTAR aircraft are planned for acquisition. That's valued at around 10,000 crore. These are designed for high-altitude standoff surveillance.
So eyes from afar.
Exactly. They'll feature a DRDO-developed ISTAR suite, but fitted onto overseas-bought platforms, like maybe a Boeing or Bombardier jet. The DEC authorized this on July 3, 2025. It's all about getting better eyes and ears over the battle space.
Okay, beyond fixed wing, India is also investing heavily in helicopters and unmanned capabilities, recognizing their roles in modern warfare, right?
Absolutely. From frontline combat support to long-range surveillance, they're crucial. For helicopters, 66 HAL Prey-Chan light combat helicopters are ordered, plus an initial order of 6 HAL light utility helicopters, the LUH.
And replacing the Mi-17s.
Yes, the Indian Multi-Role Helicopter, or IMRH, is under development specifically for that. Big shoes to fill there.
And UAVs.
Drones. Big push here, too. The IAF is procuring 30 to 50 UAVs for specific combat roles by July 2025. This includes 8 General Atomics MQ-9B Sky Guardians, the big, capable ones.
And looking further ahead, stealth drones.
They are. Requests for information are out for stealthy UCAVs, like the DRDO GOTAC project, and also high-altitude platform systems, or HAPS. Think pseudo-satellites.
Pseudo-satellites.
Yeah, drones that can loiter for, say, 48 hours at 20-kilometer altitude.
Yeah.
Essentially providing persistent surveillance like a satellite, but more flexible.
Interesting. What about trainers and missiles?
On the training front, 70 HAL HGT-40 basic trainers ordered, with an option for 35 more. That followed a decision to go indigenous instead of buying more Swiss Pilatus PC-7s.
Right, and missiles.
Air-launched BrahMos cruise missile, nuclear-capable Nurbay cruise missile, both developed by DRDO, and then there's the BrahMos Interite hypersonic cruise missile.
Hypersonic?
Yeah, Mach 8 speed, 1,000-kilometer range. That's under joint development with Russia. Truly next-gen stuff.
And air defense? SAMs?
India's acquired 3 of the 5 S-400 squadrons from Russia. 18 MR-SAM squadrons medium-range SAM are ordered. And Project Kusha aims to deploy 5 squadrons of a multi-layer long-range system, the XR-SAM, with 350-kilometer range by 2028-2029. The Akash-NG, new generation Akash-SAM, is also undergoing trials, so a layered defense.
That's a really comprehensive overview of what they're buying or planning to buy. But now let's turn to the Make in India efforts, the projects under development, the Indigenous horizon, 5th-generation fighters first. This is where it gets really ambitious.
Here's where India's self-reliance goals get really interesting.
Yeah.
The AMCA Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft. That's a twin-engine 5th-gen stealth multi-role fighter, under development by 80.
Timeline on that.
Expected first flight around 2028, serial production maybe 2032. The key thing is it's been cleared for prototype development. That's a huge step.
Okay, AMCA. What else?
Then there's the ORCA Omni-Role Combat Aircraft. Also twin-engine, apparently similar to the Rafale, but with significant design differences from the Naval Teddy BF project. First flight expected 2026, induction 2032.
And an upgraded TS.
Yes, the Tejas Mk2 or medium-weight fighter. A further development of the Tejas LCA, designed to replace Jaguars, Mirage 2000s, and MiG-29s. The first prototype rollout is expected by the end of 2025, so these are truly aspirational programs aiming high.
Beyond crewed fighters, this idea of uncrewed wingmen, drone swarms, that's gaining serious traction globally. How's India tackling this?
India has a strong Make in India initiative here. It's called CATS HAL Combat Air Teaming System.
Okay.
It's a planned system. It follows a crewed mothership fighter, probably a twin-seat HAL Tejas controlling swarming UAVs and UCAVs.
So manned-unmanned teaming.
It's exactly. MUMT. The Cat's Warrior is an armed stealth drone specifically designed for these MUMT operations, fighting alongside IAF fighters. First flight was expected around 2022, induction maybe 2029.
And swarm drones.
Complementing this are the ALF-AS swarm drones. These are AI-powered, stealthy, autonomous swarm drones. They fit in canisters under the wings of IAF aircraft. The idea is to overwhelm enemy defenses. First flight also expected around 2022. This is a really forward-looking approach to air combat, trying to multiply the force of individual fighters.
And trainers for these future systems.
Yeah, the Hindustan lead-in fighter trainer HLFT-42 is planned a next-gen supersonic jet trainer. And the HAL-HCT-36 Yasha's intermediate jet trainer is also under development. Got to train the pilots for this advanced kit.
Absolutely. Now let's tackle the big question currently facing the IAF, the fighter jet conundrum. Specifically, Russia's Su-57E versus America's F-35.
The elephant in the room.
Pretty much. India has this urgent need for advanced combat aircraft, particularly fifth-gen fighters. Especially with reports Pakistan might get Chinese fifth-gen fighters by, January of 2026? Adds pressure.
Definitely adds pressure. So in July 2025, Russia presented what's being called a lucrative comprehensive offer for their Su-57E stealth fighter.
Lucrative how?
Well, key components include immediate delivery of maybe 20 to 30 Su-57E jets, full technology transfer, 2T, and co-production at HAL's Noshik facility, leveraging their existing Su-30 MKI lines, which makes sense.
And crucially,
The offer includes access to the Su-57E source code.
the source code access. That sounds absolutely pivotal. Can you expand on why that's such a game changer for India's strategic autonomy, especially given past experiences?
This access is absolutely critical. It means India isn't just buying a black box, right? They gain the intellectual property to modify, upgrade, integrate their own systems freely, without relying on the original manufacturer for every single tweak. It's about true technological sovereignty.
Unlike past deals.
Exactly. Without it, like we saw in the prolonged dispute with France over the Rafale source code, integrating Indian weapons or systems can be limited. It ties their hands down the line. It's all about maintaining operational independence.
So the Russian offer includes source code?
Yeah.
What else?
It's also a bundled offer. Includes the Su-35M, which is a 4.5 Gen fighter. There's a potential stopgap, maybe up to 40 jets delivered within 3 years. That's attractive because it had high commonality with the Su-30 MKI fleet they already operate extensively.
Makes sense logistically.
Right, and advanced engines are part of the package too. The Saturn AL-41 F1S initially, with an option to upgrade later, maybe late 2025, to the next-gen AL-51, or Delhi 30. That boasts super cruise and enhanced stealth features. Russia's apparently waiting for a commitment from an international partner, like India, to really start flight testing this new engine properly.
Interesting. But India has conditions, right? Concerns with Russian tech?
They do. A big one is the radar. India insists on replacing the Su-57E standard N036 Bielka ASA radar, which uses gallium arsenide, or GA's technology, with its own locally developed gallium nitride GaN-based ESA radars. The Udaman Virapasha. Exactly. Indian experts believe GaN-based radars offer better thermal handling, range, and resistance against jamming. They see it as aligning more with global 5th and 6th generation standards, like the radar on the F-35, the AN/APG-81.
So again, wanting top-tier indigenous tech integrated.
Precisely. It loops back to that Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India doctrine, and avoiding past issues where they couldn't integrate their own stuff easily.
Okay, so that's the Russian offer and India's stance. What about the F-35 counteroffer from the U.S. Su? Washington has quietly positioned the F-35A for the IAF, apparently.
That's the report. But India has some pretty significant reservations there.
Such as?
Well, the F-35 is widely seen as more expensive, and technology transfer or local production seems, well, unlikely.
And the bigger concerns?
The bigger concerns are about strings attached. Perceived limitations on operational freedom, potential kill switches or OTPs, one-time pads needed for engine start. That kind of thing raises major sovereignty flags.
Right. That concern about kill switches or these one-time pads. That sounds, frankly, quite alarming. What are the broader strategic implications of that kind of limitation?
It's a massive concern for any sovereign nation, not just India. It implies a potential scenario where, maybe in a geopolitical dispute, a foreign power could theoretically disable aircraft in your fleet.
Ground your Air Force remotely.
Exactly. Fundamentally compromising your operational independence and national security at the most critical moment. For a country like India, which really values its strategic autonomy, that's likely a non-starter. It limits their ability to act freely on the global stage.
And the Siatsa risk.
Yes, the risk of U.S. sanctions under SCIATSA, the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, that always looms over major defense deals with Russia, which the Su-57 obviously is.
Okay, putting aside the strings attached, how do they compare purely on stealth?
Well, the F-35 is widely recognized for its very high stealth. Its radar cross-section is optimized. Some analysts suggest the C-57 prioritizes agility and speed more, perhaps sacrificing some stealth. Its radar cross-section is estimated at maybe zero 0.1 to 0.5 square meters, which is good, but considered inferior to the F-22's 0.0001 square meters and also the F-35's.
So F-35 wins on pure stealth.
Generally, yes. That's the consensus. It's a different design philosophy. It's also worth remembering the broader context here. A March 2025 CPRI report noted something interesting.
What's that?
While Russia remains India's top arms supplier at 36%, its share has significantly decreased. It was 72% back in 2010-14.
Wow, quite a drop.
Yeah. India is increasingly shifting towards Western suppliers, France, Israel, USA, and really boosting its own indigenous production. Of course, underlying all this, tensions with China and Pakistan continue to drive India's arms imports.
So after all these considerations, Russia's offer, U.S. positioning, tech concerns, strategic autonomy, where does this leave India's decision? What's the bottom line?
Well, Indian officials are confirming talks are ongoing, but they stress they remain preliminary. The Defense Ministry is expected to issue a request for proposal for their own AMCA program soon, which is another factor.
Right, the indigenous option.
Exactly. Ultimately, India's final decision will depend on a really complex interplay of factors: geopolitical alignments, the specific technology transfer offers on the table, the sheer urgency of the IAS needs, and the long-term partnership value each potential supplier offers. It's a very high-stakes balancing act.
If we connect this to the bigger picture then, it really does seem India is locked in this fascinating tension between immediate needs, getting planes in the air quickly, and that long-term vision of self-reliance. The Su-57 seems to offer agility, that customization potential through source code access, maybe a cost advantage, and even a dual-seat variant option, which the F-35 doesn't have.
True, but it faces challenges. Unproven reliability compared to the F-35, production delays have plagued it, and it has a less extensive global support ecosystem.
Whereas the F-35 is superior in battle-tested stealth, its network warfare capabilities, established systems, but it comes with those high export restrictions and, well, an unlikely path for real technology transfer.
That sums it up well. India's choices really reflect this core tension: boosting squadron strength now with cutting-edge tech versus the long-term strategic goal of building their own capabilities and avoiding foreign dependencies.
So the core question remains: how will India weigh the benefits of potentially faster acquisition against that deep desire for full technological autonomy, especially when facing, an evolving and challenging threat landscape? It's a strategic tightrope walk, and the outcome will truly define the future of its air power. Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Global WarWatch Network.
Yeah, it really helps us out.
It does. And don't forget to put your thoughts in the comments section. We genuinely love hearing from you.